Where you get your witchy supplies, does it matter? That's food for thought. Where you choose to purchase your candles from, your witchy supplies, maybe your herbs and oils, does it make a huge difference and doesn't affect the effectiveness of your spell work? Should you be buying candles from Dollar Tree or incense from Family Dollar? Should you be spending a ton of money at these frou-frou witchy shops and online witchy suppliers? Or should you be going to the local family-run Botanica down the street? Or should you be getting your candles from Walmart? What's the difference and will they work? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Stay tuned. So you guys saw the title of the video. I know why you were here. We are going to talk about what to me feels like the most commonly asked question. At least the question that I get is where to get spiritual supplies. Can I get them anywhere? Can I burn candles from Dollar Tree? Do I need to spend a ton of money? Like, what is it? Nowadays, let's just call it what it is. Magic, manifesting, candle magic, spirituality, witchcraft, it is trendy, honey. Everybody's doing it. Everyone reads candles, tarot cards. Everybody reads candles. Everybody's a healer. Everybody. And that's okay because everybody's coming into their spiritual awakening, and that's a beautiful thing. But where you get your supplies from, does it really matter? And does it make a difference in the effectiveness of your spell work? That's what we're trying to figure out. And the short answer to that question is yes and no. All right, end of video. I'm just kidding. You guys know I wouldn't leave you high and dry like that. But the answer to the question is yes and no. And let me explain to you why. Now, if you've ever done a consultation with me, a reading, a coaching session, if you have ever asked me a single question about spell work, how to cast a spell, how to prepare a recipe, or where to get supplies, you will know I have recommended multiple places. I have recommended anywhere from Amazon to online spiritual suppliers that I feel are reputable and have been in business for a very long time, all the way down to your local dollar store. But there is a reason why I suggest certain places. So let's take it back just a second. Let's just kind of break things down to the molecule when it comes to candle magic in particular. A candle is a candle. Whether that candle comes from Target, Walmart, Dollar Tree, the grocery store, or the Botanica, it is a plain candle. However, the energy that goes behind the creation of the candle and the environment that it came out of can aid a bit in your magic. It really can. So I'm going to give you an example. To me personally, I prefer to get my candles out of clean places, right? And here in LA, there's Botanicas on every corner. You can find one almost anywhere. There's also witchy shops, and a witchy shop and a Botanica are not the same. And if you don't know the difference, I'm going to tell you just so that you're clear. A Botanica particularly is a candle store that carries a variation of different candles, herbs, oils, and incense, and they are traditionally found or owned or family run by Latin American people. Botanicas in South America or Central America, Latin America, South America, right? You can find them in a lot of places. If you live in a city that's heavily populated with Latin people, you can typically find a Botanica. Here in LA, they're everywhere. Down in Texas, Florida, Miami, but they're throughout the country. They're everywhere. And they're gonna have a wide variety of candles. They're gonna have all types of candles. A lot of spiritual shops and witchy shops get their candles from manufacturers that make them. One of the largest manufacturing supply companies, you all probably know it, Indio Products, a lot of their products, at least the ones here on the West Coast, I don't know about the East Coast, but from what I've been told, because I speak to the managers and I know everybody in all of the locations, a lot of the candles are made in Mexico and they're shipped here and they're stocked in the retail stores. So one, those candles are particularly made for spiritual work, and they're not just made for magic. They have religious candles and saint candles. Whatever you practice, they got a candle in there. Not all Botanicas are created equal. I'm just gonna say that. And I say that because I've been to all of them in LA. You ask me, I've probably been. Some places don't have as much business. Some places are open and they just hire people. They don't really have a practitioner that works there, or they don't really have anybody who practices. And if they're a place that's not very popular, they're not in a popular location, or they don't do any advertisement, or they're just sort of like a little corner Botanica that just kind of serves the community, but nobody knows that they're there, chances are their products are not selling that quickly, which means their candles are sitting on the shelf longer and they're dusty. They're not really freshly poured. Even sometimes you'll see like some of the writing is starting to sort of disintegrate off of the glass. If you have the ones with the silk screen, like this kind right here with the silk screen, it'll start fading. The store, and this is, and let me just say this can happen in any shop. I've seen witchy shops like this, believe it or not. But what I'm saying to you is, sometimes in Botanicas, because they've been there for so long and they've been in business so long, and maybe they just don't have a lot of staff, or again, they just don't get a ton of traffic because of that particular location. They're not a well-known named Botanica, right? Then their products have been sitting up there a long time. Their herbs are dried, like drier than dry, like deathly dry. We've been up here so long, we don't even have any more energy in us. Their oils, which you guys already know how I feel about Botanica oils, but their oils have been sitting on the shelf in a bottle that came out of a box, that came out of a factory, and they've been up here forever because some oils are not very popular and people don't buy them because nobody's focusing on that point of, you get what I'm saying? So I probably wouldn't buy any candles from there. I have walked out of plenty of spiritual shops where I put one candle off the shelf and the top of it's dusty. This candle's been sitting here a while. Nobody's buying anything. Not only that, I'm not going to buy candles, for example, money candles, in a business that looks like they're not making any money, because the energy that it comes out of, yes, you take the candle home, and yes, you clean the candle, and yes, you prepare the candle, but that just doesn't sit well with me. If your business has no clientele and you're the candle shop and you're not bringing in any money, I'm not going to buy a money candle out of here. That's just how I feel. And that's kind of maybe how you should start thinking or looking at your suppliers or the places you get your supplies from. Like I said, I've been into witchy shops, and when a witchy shop is a shop that either is not a Botanica, so they're not just solely candles and oils and things, but they're like pagan supplies. They've got statues, they've got Ouija boards and books and tarot cards and all this sort of stuff. And some witchy shops will kind of dedicate, you know, if the owner it practices or follows a certain tradition, then everything in that shop will sort of follow that tradition. They will have other things, but you know, they will kind of stick to what they align with, and that's the clientele that they're serving. I've seen dusty ass witchy shops, and they may have had a little bit of business, but your stuff is dirty. Like, I'm not taking your dust out your place and bringing it into my place, okay? That's how I feel about that. So I am selective. I do buy candles from a, I guess you would call it a mainstream Botanica, but that's because as a practitioner and as a business owner providing a service to clients, it behooves me to purchase things in larger quantities and wholesale. But I still purchase those things from a clean place. I do not buy wholesale products from an old dusty Botanica that looks like nobody's wiped the counters down or the cabinets down or even mopped the floor or lit some sage in here in 1500 years. I just don't do that. So pay attention to those things when you're getting your products. And someone may say, but Jasmine, this is the only place. I live in the Bible Belt. I don't know. I live in some city where they don't do that here. Like, I don't have a lot of resources available to me, and this is all I have. Are you saying I can't buy my stuff from here? No, I'm not saying you can't. What I'm saying is, if you have another choice, I would go with another choice. But if that is your only choice, you're gonna have to put in a little more work and energy and effort into that candle, because you're already taking it out of a kind of funky environment, right? It's like when we do spiritual cleansings. Before you can attract anything to yourself, you gotta cleanse yourself first. So you are gonna cleanse the candle anyway, but now you're gonna have to put some extra effort into it, because you got an old ass candle that's been sitting there for God knows how long, that nobody's bought, in a place that's not even, their energy is dull because no one's coming in there. There's no currency exchange happening, so their candles aren't vibrating and popping all over the place. Does this make sense? Comment down below if this makes sense. I hope it does. Now, there are online places. There are practitioners now that are starting to make their own candles and offer handmade things. I think it's great, depending on where you get your stuff from. I feel like there are more places that the intended focus of the actual candle, because remember the wax, and if you didn't watch that video that I posted on what no one will really tell you how candle magic works, you need to watch it. I'll leave it down in the description box. Wax absorbs energy. That's why it's used. That's why candles are made out of beeswax or coconut wax. Even regular paraffin wax, petroleum, it's processed, yes, but it still holds energy, which is why people use candle magic, because it absorbs energy and sends that energy out and creates a change. So I'm particular about where I get my wax from. With online suppliers or home-based spiritual practitioners, call me biased, call me unbiased, call me whatever you want to call me, because I make my own stuff, and I used to sell products online. I used to sell dress candles, and I used to make oils and offer those to clients. I kind of gravitate towards people who are knowledgeable. They know their stuff. They know the herbs. They know what the properties of the herbs are. They know what the oils are. They know what they're supposed to combine and what they're not supposed to combine. They know that adding this herb in this particular oil in this particular candle is going to create this result. They know that. So you're getting something that is already created with the intention that you desire infused into it. I'm gonna save that for another video. We're gonna get back to that. We're gonna talk about, well, I'm not gonna tell you guys. You guys can just watch it in the next video in this series. Being careful. That's a whole nother thing. Being careful who touches your candles. But anyway, that's not for this video. So, not to go too far off track. I am selective, right? I'm selective. Even if I were to purchase from an online practitioner, I'm selective what type of energy they have. So, not judgmental. You know, I've practiced, I have dabbled in so many different types of magic. That's another video that I want to do for you guys. You name it. I mean, not everything, right? Because I'm not initiated. So there are certain systems that I haven't dabbled in because I'm not initiated. And when you're not initiated, you can't. And I respect that. But as an eclectic witch, I have dabbled with different deities, different spirits, different types of magic. I mean, everything. All the way to the ancient gods. Okay? Demons. Lilith, Ashtaroth, Lucifer, you name it. We've gone there. So I'm mindful, depending on the type of spell I'm doing, and the type of energetic vibration I want behind that spell, the type of place I get my candles from. Because if there's a practitioner who their matron or patron, if they work with, I'm gonna just use this as an example, Lucifer and Lilith, right? And there is nothing wrong with working with them. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I've had a beautiful experience working with Lilith, and if you guys wanna see the video, if you want me to do a video on when I walk down the path of learning demonolatry, I will happily do that for you. But if I'm trying to work on a spell that needs a different energetic vibration, I may not want a candle that's made by somebody who dresses and prepares and blesses their candle on top of the Satanic Bible, if that makes sense. I'm using this as an example. Please do not come for me in the comments, because I can hear somebody saying, well, what does it matter? I'm just giving you an example of what works for me. I'm not saying this doesn't work for you. Hell, if you want to get your candles blessed by anybody, the Pope, I don't care. But it's about energy. Now, if I'm doing a type of ritual that I want to channel, maybe I want to get my sexy back, right? Maybe I want to channel that inner Lilith and bring that dark demon sex goddess out. Maybe I want that. Then I'm going to go to that witchy shop with that practitioner who has Lilith on her or his altar, and that's the type of energy vibration that they vibe in and that they do and that they have in around their witchy products. I'm going to have them make a candle for me. I'm not going to go to the Botanica and get that kind of candle unless I'm going to melt it down and remake it myself or something like that. So I hope you guys kind of understand what I mean by that. Now, there are the big question: Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Walmart, Target, whatever. Not Target because they don't have spell candles, but they don't sell. I don't think they sell 7-day candles. If that's changed, let me know. But I don't remember Target ever selling saints, religious. They sort of are like, we're gonna stay in our lane. Hold on, y'all. I gotta adjust myself because I'm sitting. Bear with me. I'm sitting on a stool. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. My foot's falling asleep and my butt hurts. So I'm about to wrap this video up. But again, Dollar Tree, all those places, can you get candles from there? You absolutely can. They are, but again, they're mass produced. They don't have any intention behind them because they weren't made by a witch or anything, or even sitting in a place that has magic as an intention behind it. It's just a dollar store. I can imagine it probably goes through way more hands, way more transaction of people's hands than something that's made in a factory that's going directly from the factory to the Botanica. And that's the only, besides maybe the shipping process, but that's the only, it's coming from the Botanica that makes these candles for these purposes and going on the shelf, versus a dollar store that's probably made in another foreign country that's really far away and going through all of that to get here, to get on the shelf and all those sort of things. So that's just something to take into consideration. Now, I know someone's gonna be like, but Jasmine, you tell us to get candles from Dollar Tree. I do. I've told you guys to do your witchy shopping at Dollar Tree. Here's my thing. Dollar Tree is great. If you need plates, bowls, matches, incense, even if you are a person on a budget. Now, if I have a client that comes to me and is going through financial stuff and is going through a lot and just really doesn't have it, you got kids, you got bills, you're like, I just lost my job after I paid this rent and feed these kids, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not going to tell you to go buy a $20 candle off of someone's website. I'm not going to tell you to wait on Amazon to deliver your package for 2 or 3 days when you got an emergency right now. I'm not going to send you on a wild goose chase scavenger hunt to find a Botanica when you live in the Bible Belt and there probably isn't one until you get to the next county. Hell yeah, I'm going to tell you, girl, bruh, go to Dollar Tree and get that candle and cleanse this candle, and we gonna sit on this phone and you gonna dress this candle together. I'm gonna walk you through, we gonna fix it, and we gonna get you to the point where you have some more money so you can get some better supplies from a more reputable source. That is my point. So I believe in working your magic. Don't break the bank. Don't spend money you don't have. Don't do that. But if you can, remember, magic and spell work is an investment in yourself. Spirit is watching. The universe is listening. If you do venerate your ancestors, or if you work with particular spirits or deities or saints or demons or whoever you choose to work with, your spirit guides, just your higher self, money is energy. The energy that you put in to your spiritual work is the energy you get out. If you can afford, instead of getting the $1.25 candle, but you can afford to walk into a spiritual shop or order from someone who hand makes their candles, or you can walk into a spiritual shop where it's going to cost a little bit more, but it has the images printed. This is a good candle. You guys should also, if you haven't burned a white road opener, you're used to doing the traditional ones, white road openers is where it's at. If you can go into, you see how much easier it is? You see all these images? You guys may not be able to see them, but they have, see all these images on this candle? Health, money, road to success. If you can afford to do this for a few dollars more versus just a plain candle where you get it home and especially if you're a newbie and you really don't even know what to do with it, you're not sure what to write on it, you can't draw anything past a stick figure and maybe like some watery lines, this is a better option. And if it's coming out of a place that the tools there are specifically intended to help you manifest, then the tools are already supercharged and vibrating. They know that I'm here for the magic party. Somebody's gonna take me home and pray over me and light me and I'm gonna rock their world. Versus the Dollar Tree candle that's sitting on the shelf waiting for somebody's lights to get turned off so they can be lit and have a job to do. Okay, is that clear? So this is my take on, does it matter where you get spiritual supplies? Us modern day witches, we're a little lazy. We are. Because everything is instant. You can buy whatever you want. Nobody makes, well, not nobody, because people are making candles clearly, but it's time consuming. And when you are busy and you have a life and you have a lot of things going on and you're trying to fix situations or manifest situations, you probably don't have time to go buy wax and molds and wicks and herbs and oils and do all this stuff and make your own candles. Would they work a hell of a lot better? Hell yeah, they would. They most certainly would. I make my own candles. I buy a whole lot of them. I buy more candles than I make because I don't have time. Like, I make candles, one, because it's a creative outlet for me. Two, I like to put my own energy and stuff. But the truth is, I don't have time between videos, social media, clients, spells, now a fiance, 2 cats, a social life, trying to find balance within myself, growing my business, trying to create more ways to help you. I don't have time to make candles. You feel me? And that would be what a lot of people would say. Work, school, kids, business, you gotta get life, shit, depression, you just I don't feel like it today. It's more convenient to go buy something. But if you're going to invest your money, your time, your effort, and your energy, give yourself the best chance of success if you can afford it. I'm not saying spend money that you do not have. I would never tell anybody to do that. And at the end of the day, it's all about your intention and the energy that you put into it. If all you have is $1.25 and all you can get is 1 green candle and hope that green candle brings you the money that you need to pay your bills, to get you through to the next thing opens up, do that, my love. There is no shame in it at all. But when you get that job and now that job is paying you a nice little salary and you got a little extra money, try to squeeze in, between the hair and nail appointment and the booze and the weave and the weed, try to skin in a little extra money for some better quality supplies. You will see better results in your spells. All right, my loves, that's it for now. I hope that was clear. Please comment below. Let me know, was that clear? Was it understandable? Was it digestible? Or do you disagree? If you're like, Jasmine, girl, you tripping, hey, leave that down too, as long as you're respectful, because if you're not, you will get blocked. But I would love your feedback on this. If you want me to elaborate more on this subject, I'd be more than happy to do another video on this. Our next video topics that are coming up, we are going to talk about don't let nobody tell you doing your magic wrong. But again, I'll meet you over there for that video and we'll talk more about that later. Love, light, peace, and I'll talk to you in the next video.